Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, now let me just increase the volume just a little bit. 2. Test. Okay, let's go up to 2 decibels. 3 decibels. Okay, I think that might be the ticket. 3 decibels. Alright, we'll try that. Let's see what happens. Turn this down. Okay. Okay. I need to get a little lower here. Okay, hello. Welcome to the Black Ponderer. My name is Neil Trotter. I think we're good with the audio levels, please. If you notice any lag or audio issues, let me know. I will do what I can. Today, we're going to be, I usually use this microphone, which is better quality, but now I got the cheapo web microphone because I got to use my hands because we got props today. We got props. So this is the Black Ponderer. We're a YouTube channel, and I'm the host. My name is Neil. We talk about philosophical concepts, and we read philosophical texts, and we do supplementary commentary with those texts. And that's all fun and cool. But then we also do these live streams, and that's nice because then we can kind of hone in on a specific topic, and it'll be, not so much talking about a text. It's just kind of free balling it. Now these live streams are more conversational. They're not lecture based. We're trying to make it so we're not talking at people. We're talking with people. Because, this is a philosophy channel, and a lot of philosophy is just, conversational, dialogue, just going back and forth and bouncing off ideas. I thought that's a part of philosophy, so I wanted to introduce that. It isn't just like read a text, tell me what you think, talk about complicated ideas. So it's more common. It's like we're hanging out, we're chilling. Think of it like we're just at a bar or a lounge, having a good drink or whatever. We're just chilling. Whether you're watching later or watching now, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So today's topic is photography. We're talking about photography. Now, let me go ahead and read you the description of what I wrote here. I wrote, what is it about taking a picture? What is compelling about memorializing a moment in an image? Is photography only about memorializing, or is there something else involved? A form of storytelling? A unique visual art form? Why do various types of photographic medium and gear exist, and how does that variation impact the art form? Let's discuss. Okay. So that's what we get. So several little bullet points, and we could talk about all. We can talk all about that. I usually like to talk anecdotally, where I kind of give my personal experience, and I think photography is one of my hobbies that I enjoy. I'm not a pro, I'm more of an amateur. And it'll be nice. Oh, hello, Bat Shaft. Oh, yes, my favorite way to preserve moments in history. Okay, cool. Yeah. It's is it a documentary type of thing? Is it for documentary? Is it historical, or is it an art form? It is an art form. That's what we got to talk about. It's gonna be fun. So I'll just give you my personal experience with photography. I in my early years, young man, preteen, child. I always thought because we would go to on field trips, or I would visit museums, and sometimes art museums, they would have photography exhibits, and I was so ignorant and so naive back in those days. I'm like, why is photography in a museum? I don't get it. Like, why? It's not hard to do. You just snap a picture. You literally push a button on a machine and it just does everything for you. It's not an art form. That's what I was thinking. It's and then that really, I thought, it kind of took away my seeing that felt like, that's why I'm not really an art type of guy, because I don't get it. It was kind of along the same lines of Rothko, or the abstract, or Pollock, Jackson Pollock, where it's the abstract artists just throw a few colors of paint and it's a masterpiece, and I'm like, this is not really, today I really like Pollock and Rothko, and a lot of that abstract, non-representational art. I really dig that stuff. But back then, I'm like, that's why I'm probably not an art person. And the same thing with photography. In photography, I would see these images. I'm like, this is not art. This is literally somebody pointing a lens and just pushing a button. That's it. But boy, was I naive. I was naive back then. And hello, Nadia. Yep, we're talking about photography. And I'm just talking about the early days of how I used to go to museums, and I would see the photography exhibits, and I'd be very I'd skip them. I'd be like, I don't think I should spend my time. And that's how I really thought about photography for the longest time. Then, one day, I read this book, and we got a stack of books. That's why I have free hands. free. I can't hold the microphone. I need my hands free. Got to stack them. I read this book. It's one of my favorite books. I've shown it several times in the live stream. I haven't done a video because it's not really a book on philosophy. I don't think it's not really much philosophy. It's more, but it is like very good ideas, right? It's called The Lonely City, and it's about this subtext is adventures in the art of being alone. You know, I've shown this many times. There's a glare here. Sorry about that. Olivia Lang is actually one of my favorite authors. Every time they're coming out with a book this year, I'm definitely getting that. This is one of those auto buy authors for me, Olivia Lang. But they featured. The book is about lots of artists who lived in like busy cities, but they were alone, even though they were surrounded by people. They're just surrounded by people, but they had struggles with loneliness. There's like Andy Warhol, he did a lot of photography art. Talked about, he was featured in it. Robert Mapplethorpe, the guy that did all those pictures comparing flowers. I think that. Okay, let me look him up. What is the other Just Kid? Patti Smith. Patti Smith's former partner. Yeah. All right, let me just say today because I should definitely like give credit where credit is due. It's Robert, right? Or maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, Robert Mapplethorpe. That's what I said. As I said, that was another artist that this book featured, and he struggled with loneliness too. And he was also a photographer, and he did a lot of famous photography. Okay, so let me see if there's any conversations directed at me, and if not, that's cool. Sounds like snap a photo in an hour. I'm out at the park on this lovely evening, so I might not be able to stay for long as my battery's. Oh yeah, no, all good. Don't worry. Watch the. Feel free to watch the recording later. Sounds like that. Yeah, yes, that's it. To ours. Yeah. You can't spend online on Saturday. You crazy? But unfortunately, that's the only time I'm available. So it is what it is. Maybe I could. I might consider. Well, it doesn't matter. Like, pick any day, then somebody's gonna be unavailable. Although some days are better than others. It is true. So that's something to consider. But anyway, are you tuning in for? Okay. Doesn't allow me. Okay. Yep. Doesn't allow. Okay. So anyway, let me continue my ramblings. So I thought this was a great book, and eventually it went to this part, and it wasn't even that long. It was a few pages, maybe even a few paragraphs. They mentioned this artist, Vivian Mayer. The book mentioned this artist is a photographer, and it was just the way that book talked about this person. It was very fascinating. It was a housemaid that took photographs of people, and this person struggled. I'll show you. This person struggled with loneliness, and they would just go out and just walk the streets and just take pictures of people without their permission. They would just take. They would just walk up to people, just take their picture on the street, and I thought that was like, well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. She would just take just strangers. It's street photography. Now, I'm naive. I didn't realize, at the time, I didn't know the genres of photography or anything like that. So, but street photography is extremely popular. It's a very popular genre of photography, but I didn't know. I was just seeing this for the first time, and I'm like, let me show you. If this glare doesn't mess up. She would just walk the streets and she would just take these pictures of people, and they wouldn't even be paying attention to her, right? They wouldn't smile, which was like, that was new to me. And then she also take pictures of just city landscapes, cityscapes, because she lived in metropolitan areas. Right? Oh. I just thought that was so cool. That was new to me. And she would just go everywhere. She would go in the hoods and the ghettos, right? And like, she wouldn't go to the rich places. She'd just go to the urban areas and the poor neighborhoods. Just walk around and take pictures. But she would also travel the bougie places too. And she would, she would just walk up and just take people's pictures. Did not ask for permission. Just do. And she was tall. I think she was like over 6 feet. So she was a little intimidating. So, not everybody likes to get their picture taken just randomly. But because she was kind of a tall lady, and kind of like, she wasn't skinny, she kind of had a little muscle to her. People were like, okay, what? And then she didn't dilly dally. She would just take the picture and just leave. And then she would just take pictures of all types of things. Let me see if I can see a good one, find a good one. And there was some comedy, stuff like this is pretty cool. She'd just be sitting there and just take a picture of people. Yeah. And she used like this old school kind of camera. So it wasn't like she was hiding. It wasn't secret. Like, this camera is very obvious. It's like one of those old school style cameras. So she would take the picture and people would be like, what are you doing? And she would just leave. And she would just take these pictures. And it was her pictures that she took. She didn't she didn't showcase them. She just had it in her private collection. It was just something she did for fun on the side. A lot of these pictures are kind of funny too. They have a little comedy to it. I'm sure sometimes she would like walk up to somebody and be like, hey, can I take your picture? But a lot of times she didn't do that. She would just take the picture and just leave. Yeah. And she took some good portraitures. Yeah. And then Ponder, do you prefer these pictures of people or the landscapes? It's fun to kind of experience the lives of people and see what they see through the lens of a camera. Well, nowadays I kind of like both, but when I first discovered this style of photography, I really was interested in just people, taking pictures of people. Yes. Sleep, the old couple asleep. Then you got this lady. Oh no, this way. Just like doing a side view right there. I really liked it. These kids. It's kind of retro too. I got that old style. And the lady holding the balloons, and these pictures, they're not like she just took it. She would walk up and just take the picture. She didn't ask for people to pose. This guy riding a horse. This cowboy. I just thought this was very interesting. That's why I got the book. Now, they have a movie of this, a documentary of this artist, Vivian Mayer. It's called like Finding Vivian Mayer or something. It might actually be free nowadays. I don't know. I think when I saw it, I got it free. Finding Viagra. That's what I put. Finding V and just auto completed Viagra. But no, I'm not. That's not what I want. Okay, you do have to pay. Oh well. It was a cool documentary, I thought. She was problematic. She had issues. She was a perfect person, but she was okay. she was she was like, you know, everybody has their issues, but I really liked that. That really got me into photography. You know, I really enjoyed that style. I was like, huh, I think I want to do that. I would like to do that. Uh, I'll show you another book. Uh, what's it? Tatsuo Suzuki, Friction Tokyo Street. This is Japanese street photography, and the Japanese are very popular for their street photography. There's a lot of very popular Japanese street photographers. They kind of, and this guy like Tatsuo Suzuki, Suzuki-san, right? Uh, he's like very extreme to that. You know, Vivian Mayer would just walk up to people, take their picture. He did it. Now this guy does it to the extreme. Like he really does it. He's very brutal about it, and it's kind of controversial the way he does it. He'll just walk up to people, you know, or just kind of yell at them and take their picture and then leave, which is, you know, a lot of people think that's very rude. He used to actually be an ambassador, or like, you know, he used to get sponsored by Fuji, the camera company. I think that it was Fuji. They used to sponsor him. He used to be like a company ambassador, but then they like kicked him out because he was like too forward. You know, he would take people's pictures and like in a very like, you know, he would like, hey, and then just leave. And people thought that was like really rude, which it is. It is. That is pretty rude. But hey, I mean, you get some good shots. I'll show you. It's just like, it's whatever you, however you think. I mean, and this is just Japan, right? This is Japan. Not all of his pictures are candid. Some of them are staged with people, but most are. This is like a protest. Japanese people protested. I think this is probably candid. Right? I want to find some that are like obviously like he's in people's faces and they're like, "What the hell are you doing?" But he's famous for like capturing poor people in Japan, or like homeless people in Japan, and also like create, you know, people who are kind of radical. Like this is where's my finger? Okay, this is a protester. All right. So, you know, you got the radical people. You don't really see that much in Japan. That's that side of Japan much. Let me see. I'm pretty sure this one's staged, right? I'm pretty sure. And I'm just showing you photos. Like, well, we'll get into the philosophy of it. So he does stuff like this. Like here, the police are like arresting somebody, and he just goes up to the event happening like unannounced. Like he doesn't care, which is like, you know, I mean, he might be like obstructing justice, right? But he doesn't care. I don't think you could do that in America. Like I think you'd probably get shot or something. Don't do that. But maybe in Japan it's a little. It's a little easier to do that. Here's, you know, that kind of stuff. He would just like walk up to people and just take their photo, and oftentimes you have that kind of look like, huh, what? But he would leave before they would be able to process what's going on. I was trying. There was some. Yeah, he's kind of taking a lot of like underbelly shots. Like here you go. Also, you know, kind of controversial because you know, not everybody believes you should just be taking pictures of homeless people like that. Some are like, you know, he actually make friends with a lot of like people on the streets, homeless people, and they would let him take his picture. You know, he made friends with homeless people. He's friends with them, and so a lot of it is permission based, but a lot of it isn't. You know, you got your cool. you know, American lady in Japan probably got a model or something smoking the cigs. Don't smoke cigs; they cause cancer. But it looks cool. Got a lot of that kind of stuff. People smoking cigarettes. He got some cool pictures of black people, man. Let me tell you, some black people in Japan. There's quite a few of them. You know, and this is one of the things I like, that juxtaposition. Well, first of all, look at that lady with the eye patch. But then you got on this side, you got this businessman with a Oxford shirt with the street man. Oh. Right. But then you got the rule of thirds, which is like this photographic technique. So it's like 3 points of interest. Where I'm mirrored. Yeah. The mannequin, the rich man, and the street man. All right. And they make like a little triangle. Let's call it the rule of thirds. It's like a photographic technique. Yeah, and so like this is one of the famous thing that he would just go walk across the street and just go up into people's faces, take their picture, and then leave without their permission, and before they would even process what was happening. He would do that a lot, and so he's controversial, but I think he takes some pretty cool shots, and he does these cool stuff where he would kind of, you know, because nowadays film technology, camera technology is so advanced. You know, you could take pictures of birds flapping their wings, and you know, you can, if you got the proper setting, you don't see the blur effect. So that's pretty cool. But then you can intentionally make some blurs. So it's pretty artsy. I like this. I like this, really cool. But that's not everybody's cup of tea. So I kind of figured out like, oh, I really like that. I like that. So I decided, you know what? I want to do that. I want to do that. So, but I wasn't, you know, I was like, okay, I'll do Vivian. I'm not brave enough because I never did that photography before. But, and I wasn't like brave enough to be like him, where you just go up to people's faces and take people's pictures. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, you know, you'll get punched, socked in the face. That's some people, right? So you gotta be careful. But I was like, you know what, I do that. So what I did is I got me this camera, which is very old. It's quite old now, but it's still a pretty good camera. It's a Fujifilm X70. It's a point and shoot camera. It has a fixed lens. It's a wide angle. I think it has a wide angle. Yeah, so it's fixed, so you can't take this off and put like a bigger lens on there. You have to just stay with this lens. So it's little, it's tiny, so you can kind of move and be covert with it a little bit. Not too. It's kind of hard to be covert even with the smallest camera, even with your cell phone, right? Nowadays you could just use like cell phones, and they have such powerful cameras in them. They work very well. You could just use a cell phone nowadays, but at the time, like these little point and shoot cameras were still pretty good. And what was cool about this is that, let me show you. It has this viewfinder, and it pops open like this. I think you can pull it out like that. Yeah. So you can point it, and then you can look down like this, and you can get some low shots. I really like that about this camera. Similar to the old school cameras that Vivian Mayer used, right? These kind of cameras where their viewfinder was on top, you had to look down into it. I was really trying to like bite off of her technique. I was like, how can I do that in a modern way? So I did that, man. So I would take a lot of those kind of shots. I'd shoot like this and look down. I was not like the type of person that would I wouldn't go like this. This doesn't even have that ability. Although you can buy an attachment that can give you like that viewfinder look. But this only has the screen, so you can only use the screen to give you a preview shot. But I would never do that. I'll usually like have it up here and kind of have it down. It kind of made it easier to be covert. And I had a blast, man. And I would just walk the streets and take pictures of people. And man, I had so much fun doing that. I had so much fun. I don't really do that as much anymore because I'm more interested in other things now. But let me show you my Instagram, if I can do this correctly. Let's see here. I go profile. But I have to go way down. Let me go way down. Okay, I should have got this ready. Maybe I should bring up my Facebook. Let's see how far. Because it's been a while since I've done that kind of photography. But I did a lot of that kind of photography back in the day. Yeah, I might want to just put up my. Well, let's see. Man, that's a lot. Well, just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me. If I just hide my video. Okay, yeah, this is my Instagram. And yeah, so I've also taken pictures of flowers. Did a lot of that. And that's a botanical garden. I think I'm gonna have to roll very far down to get the pictures of images of people. Let's see. Oh boy. How far can I go? Even that's not it. Yeah, I remember. No. Let's keep going. Yeah, okay, here we are. Yeah, this is nice. Okay, it wasn't the worst. It was just. So this is for Fruitvale District. Okay. Yeah, we could just look at this right quick. And this is we can look at Chinatown too. So this is. Okay, let's do this. I used to have so much fun doing this shit. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. And I took this with that camera. Okay, let's see, because I don't even know where that's at. This is Broadway. This is downtown Oakland, California. This is the city where I'm from, and we're in Chinatown. In Chinatown, you got the Chinese translated street signs. Sometimes I would do black and white if the image was too blurry. These images are not. They're pretty blurry actually, but you know. I liked how there was like Chinese American officers, cops, and then you got this like woman here. And I would do that. And so I was trying to, which I had a blast doing. I would just take pictures of people without them knowing. And you know, I thought that's aesthetic. And then the lady with the baby, and then you got this lady here. This is Chinatown, and then you could have stuff like this, which was awesome because you'd have this blur effect, and you can see the reflection of the street off of this, you know, Chinese butchery. Okay. Somebody commented, this is a long ass time ago. Of course, beer. Of course. The guy's like, what you doing, man? Yeah, yeah, it's like it was like some sort of festival happening in Chinatown. I love this. They didn't even know because I had the camera again, like I had the camera like this. I would hold it like this, and I'd just be walking with it, but I could see it. I have it lower than this, so I literally like, but I could see the viewfinder. It was just awesome. I would love doing this. I did this for years. This is the Asian cultural. It was like a mall. I used to hang out a lot here as a teenager. It's like a mall in Chinatown. It was the home of the Asian Cultural Center too. They had a library. Here it is, the Oakland Asian Cultural. Yep, that was it. It had a library, Asian branch, Chinatown, baby. I love that. Look at that. Yeah, I like. And I was trying to do some, Vivian Myers style stuff, which I enjoyed. Too bad it's a little. Oh, this is. Look at it. I was trying to mimic the whole rule of thirds. You know. This is Fruitvale District in Oakland. Fruitvale District is predominantly, Fruitvale is predominantly Latinx. Yeah, look at that. They didn't even know. I took their photo. And this is an advertisement. Look, that's so funny. These are white people too. I think this is Fruitvale, but you got like Chinese, because they're right next to each other. Chinatown and Fruitvale right next to each other. That was the cool thing about where I'm from. You'd have all these cultural, these ethnic communities that were segregated, but they were right next to each other. Chinatown was next to Fruitvale, which was like the Latinx, and then you had like East Oakland, where I was from. That's predominantly black. Yeah, trying to do some like triangle rule of thirds type of stuff. Trying to get some wildlife. I like this with the art, the mural right there. I thought that was cool. I remember it was hot when I was walking down these streets. Although apparently it wasn't hot because some people were wearing coats and stuff. But shit, I thought that was hot. I moved here to Tennessee. Now I live in Memphis, and it's like nowhere near as hot as it was. Yeah, and then I kind of stopped doing. I kind of lost interest. There's like, I keep scrolling down, there's like, I did so many of that stuff. Yeah, lady with an umbrella. See, that's how long ago it was. This is when Obama was president. And he just liked. I think I actually asked him to take his photograph because he just was dressed cool. This person too. I love being black. That was nice. Yeah, some sort of festival going on. There's a motorcycle club, or I don't know, probably not, but cops. No, these aren't. Are they? No, yeah, it looks like they're wearing the fire helmets. I don't know what they are, honestly. That was pretty cool. Although it's kind of like overexposed. See, I think this is the first time I used that camera, so I was learning. Yeah, there's some overexposure there. So, it's not perfect. It's cute. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And again, like rule of thirds. Oh, my bad. You're not even seeing what I'm talking about. Man, I'm done. Okay, so I'm so sorry. You're not even seeing what I'm showing. So again, I'll just do a little review. rule of thirds. You know, I'll just show you the images I was right quick. You know, to just give you some examples of what I was just showing. Sorry. My bad. I didn't even realize I wasn't even showing. That's pretty cool. Although, maybe should have waited like a second later for her eyes to open, but that's not bad. And this person was just happy to get a picture. I loved it. That's a nice, that's nice. I mean, nice dress. A nice color compared to mostly everybody wearing white and black. Even the doggies. Great, a lot of grayscale going on, but her color kind of pops. This is pretty cool. I love taking pictures of couples. And more couples who are who contrast, who are like, you know, different, and they don't have to be like romantic couples, like, you know, just be two people, and then two people here. I like taking like pictures of two people together, but one person is cool too. That's pretty. I like this. That's pretty cool. And then this is how I was like, how far can I take the shot? Pride flag with America. I think that's pretty interesting. That's a pretty interesting juxtaposition. I think it's a great picture because you can. Oh, sorry. Because you can think like, well, what really has America done for LGBTQIA plus people? This is just downtown Oakland. Yeah. I think this was just a guy selling his stuff, and I was like, "Can I take a picture?" And yeah, I took pictures of homeless people. I sure did. I know that's not the. Oh, that's as far as it went. Okay. Y'all got some crack. And he's talking to cops, having a good time, which I thought was interesting. I think I think the guy got a ticket, and he was trying to like ask the cop why did he get the ticket. And they are starting to have a good time. So there's that. All right, so we're gonna go back to my. Sorry, I didn't realize I was just talking to my camera was on. I wasn't sharing my screen. Anyway. I did a lot of that. I did a lot of taking pictures of just people, street photography. I did a lot of that, and that was really fun. But then I started like really getting more into the. I don't know what it was. I think. I guess I'm really into nostalgia, like lots of people. And I really was kind of had this urge because I was taking pictures, and you know, first I took pictures on my phone, my smartphone, and then I got one of these point and shoots. And with Fuji, you can make pictures kind of look like film. They kind of have that color grade to them, like you know, they kind of automatically got these color tones where they kind of look like film photography. And I was really drawn to Fuji because they had that color grade to them, as opposed to Canon or Nikon. Canon is like super high defined, bright, and Nikon had this, you know, more flat, what I felt, color grade. But Fuji had more of a like kind of a retro vibe to it, in my subjective opinion. And you know, I would take pictures, and it would really remind me of film, or the pictures I used to see when I was a little boy, which was like, you know, Polaroid pictures, or like those film cameras that you would buy at like Walgreens or a drugstore, and you like take pictures and then just give the entire camera, disposable cameras, to the drugstore, and they would just give you film back. And so I was like, and it really reminded me of that, right? And gave me some joy. And I was like, you know what? Instead of like, um, just being reminded, why don't I just buy a film camera? And I was thinking like, it can't be that expensive. Who takes film? Nobody does that anymore. Everybody does digital now. I'm sure I could go to like an antique store, a pawn shop. But apparently, like, the hipsters are here, and I'm one of them, right? Because film photography is a thing that's still goes on, right? So a lot of these film cameras are like not cheap, and I'm like, damn. I thought I could just get like a camera for $10 and call it a day, but it's like, nah, man. Those old school film cameras are in hot demand because people are like me. They're chasing they hipster with it. And for me, oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. For me, it wasn't so much being a hipster. It was just like I'm just stuck in the 90s. I'm just stuck in the early 90s, the late 80s. I was just trying to chase the aesthetic that I had when I was young. That's what it is. I guess a lot of people are trying to do that. So I realized, like, I kind of got that street photography out of my system, and I was like, I think I just want to do film photography, right? But film photography is very expensive, right? And, contrary to my initial opinion, because I was thinking like, oh, I could probably just go to like a Goodwill or something and buy a camera for, and buy film. I really didn't think that one through. Yeah, I should have thought like, wait a minute. Do they even sell film anymore? They do. They do. But you saw there's the expensive ass film, which you can buy. And I'm not doing that because that's like beyond my price range. And then they still sell very cheap photography. I mean film. Right? So went ahead and bought at one of those camera stores. I bought like old school film. You just like wind it up. I don't know why it's not taking a picture. Oh, because it's off. I guess I gotta turn it off. It's been so long. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. You wind. Oh. Okay. Okay, you wind it up. There's no film in here. I wonder if you can hear that. Probably not. Let me turn it back off because is the battery still? Oh, first let me. There's a battery in here. It is still on. The battery still works. That's cool. But you gotta turn it on. There is what they call those. It's like an automatic light gauge that tells it what ISO. It tells. There's a little computer in here that tells it how long it needs to expose the film based off of how bright it is. So it's automatic in that way. It's like an automatic camera. It's not like complete. Although I can turn it off and make it manual. But I'm not trying to do all that. I'm not like in photography that hardcore. But there's a little battery. There's a little computer in there. Pretty primitive. That it's battery powered, and it'll tell the camera how long to expose the film based off of how bright it is, so I can get proper image. Don't have it overexposed and stuff. That's what I wanted. I don't, you can really get hardcore and be like, oh, okay, I know it's this dark, so I know I need to expose it at like 300 milliseconds, and and let me set it to that point, and okay, now let me, deal with the size of the pinhole. I forgot what you call it. I don't know. I'm not an expert in photography. There's all types of shit. The aperture. That's another. Let me check. Make sure the aperture is the. I don't know. I like the point and shoot concept. And a lot of these the later film cameras did all that for you, so you don't have to do that. So I got myself a film camera because I really like the look of film. But now the question is, okay, where the hell are you gonna buy film? Do they sell film? Yeah. You can go to Target, Target, and those international watching that don't have Target. Although I think Target is in many countries. Target's like, a major chain department store. I think Walmart probably sells them too. And they just sell like this kind of film. Old school. This is company. This is Fuji. Yeah, Fuji still makes film. Now this is cheap ass film. It's color. It's color filled. Like if you get it, if you go to well, you can do it yourself. You can buy the chemicals and do it yourself. I don't do that. Fortunately, I have a local specialty shop. I think they're called Memphis Imaging something. Memphis Imaging Store or something, and they develop film. They still do that shit. It's crazy. Now you can learn. They got tutorials, YouTube tutorials, where you can like buy chemicals and do it on your own. But I'm like, nah, I'll just like take it to a place. It's not that much more expensive. Like if I was doing this as a job, if I was doing this a lot, probably. But no, I'll not do it. I'll just take it. And they'll develop your film for you. Oh, hello, Randy. How's it going? Yeah, we're talking about photography. And so, but the thing is, you can buy this film, and you can buy it on the internet too. Let me see if I can find it off Amazon. Fujifilm Superia. Fujifilm Super. Yeah. Just go to Amazon. Yeah, I literally go to the store. Target. Here it is. 3-pack for $25. That's exactly how much. Well, I think it's actually a little cheaper at the store at Target. I think it's like $20, or maybe being like 18 or something like that. Is this color? Yes, color film. And as you can see, I did last purchase it back 2 years ago. But nowadays, I just go to the store unless they stop doing that. But this, regularly available film that you can buy. It's not expensive, not too crazy expensive. But it's interesting though, because a lot of people who are into film, they'd be like, don't buy that, that's the cheap shit. You're gonna get like crap film quality. You want the more expensive film. I mean, we're talking about like one picture costs $10 and shit. I mean, that's at the lower end, and it just keeps going up from there, right? But I don't have that kind of money. But plus, here's the thing about me. I like I'm a lo-fi type of guy. And that's not, I understand that's not everybody. Most people like their really high definition, and they like the high resolution in their 4K HD, and that's they like that. But that's my aesthetic. I really am drawn to low quality or low fidelity stuff. I don't know what. If you look at my channel, that's what I'm a lo-fi channel, and that's not just because I'm cheap, although I can be pretty cheap, but it's because that's what I prefer. And so I want to make images that look like they were, they came from cheap film. So how do I do that? I don't use a filter. I just actually use cheap film. And so that's what you get. And it just makes me happy. So that's what I do. And then, do you play guitar also? I do. I play the guitar. Maybe we could talk about that one day. Yeah, I play the guitar for fun. I have a few YouTube videos where I do covers on the guitar. They're not like I'm not a professional guitar player, meaning like if I were to go on stage and play the guitar, people would, and they were to pay to see me, they'd probably be disappointed. They'd be like, this guy doesn't play all that good. Because I just play for fun. I really need to get on that practice. Like, I gotta get back on my regimen. But yeah, I do that. And so nowadays, I just take pictures of just interesting things. I'll show you. Again, this is my Instagram, and this is Elmwood Cemetery. It's like basically a tourist attraction in Memphis. It's a graveyard that's like really, really snazzy. I mean, it's one of those. It looks like a movie set, but it's a real graveyard. People are actually buried there. But it's a tourist attraction. Like, you go there and it's like tourists walking around. But it's a beautiful, beautiful place. And these are all film. I just scan the film images. And so I don't really. I still take pictures of people, candid pictures, but I'm interested in other things now as well. Yeah. And why these are, we could talk about, the content and like the positioning of the objects and all that, which, I could talk at length. But I'm just interested in the color grade. I really like the color grade of film. And I like how it's like how it's not like super high definition. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just, it's like you have a favorite food and you're like, why do you like this food? Because you just do. Some people got a certain type, of person they're attracted to. Like, some people will say like, well, I like big women. Or like, I like a guy with a six-pack. And other people will be like, yeah, I don't really like a six-pack. People are like, I like people with long hair. Well, I like bald people. Why do you like these things? Because, just your brain is wired that way. It's brain chemistry. It's just the way you're wired, right? So for me, like, I enjoy images with film. It just kind of gives me a nice feeling. I actually make. I'm bending over because I make little zines of my photograph. This is what you were seeing, Elmwood Cemetery, and I just make paper copies of it and I sell it. I sell them, and they're just the images that you saw on the computer. And if you go on my Patreon, I give you, that's one of the tiers. I got several of those photograph books, but they're zines, so they're really cheap paper. They're not like quality paper, but people will buy them. I sell them for like $10. So it's not like a $50 book, right? And people like them. They're like, hey, this is pretty good. I like this for $10. So that's cool. So last thing I want to do is show you some photographs of some photography I like. I have a few photograph books. You got Michael Kenna, for instance. Now, Michael Kenna, there's all types of different kinds of photography, and Kenna does this like kind of more abstract photography, which back in the day I thought this was like, really, this is not art, but now I've come to appreciate. Let me show you some of his stuff. Appreciate his art, or his photography as art. landscapes like this, trying to like minimize the glare here. Just these lonely areas. You know, I think he just went to a nuclear power plant that wasn't operating anymore. That's very ominous. Yeah, he takes pictures like that. Stuff like this. You know, just a road that kind of is a dock. But, you know, it's very kind of abstract. It's kind of going to the abyss. Let me see if I can find, like, it's just crazy stuff. You know, stuff like this. I mean, very abstract. I don't know what. And then there's this glare that I'm really. Can I move that? Okay, there we go. I've come to really appreciate that kind of stuff. Like, what even is that? It's probably the ocean. I don't know what's. It may be a airplane flying, and that's the band of light. Oh, you got that print. Cool. Yeah, I really like Michael Kenna. Yeah, that tree. The tree in winter with the snow on it, and the tree without it. Very, I mean, you could say a lot about that. You could talk at length. I mean, you can make a whole stream on, you know, I can talk, I could do a whole live stream on one of these photographs. You know, we could just talk about, you know. But before, I mean, look at that. That one on the left. It's unfinished. The fence is kind of stopped and now. But then it kind of keeps going with, oh, wrong one. With the trees. Oh, sorry. The fence stops, and then where it stops, the trees go in the background. Isn't that amazing? Like the way he like planned that out. And it's got so much of that. That's awesome. Yeah, I can spend all day looking at that book. I really could. And I'll just show you some more. And so I've come to appreciate, like, you know, back in the day, I was like, oh, it's all about the candid photographs. I just like taking pictures of people without asking their permission. But I've definitely come to appreciate over the years, like, no, there's something about portraiture where you really, at first I thought like, oh, portraiture is so, you're just getting a false representation of the person. But no, good portraiture, you can get an incredibly realistic image of a person that reflects who they are. So this is an awesome book. It is by on Christopher Street. Who is the person that? Who's the artist? So let me like. Who the hell is the artist? It's not Christopher Street. I think Christopher Street is the organization, but it's one guy. I think it's Mark Seliger. Yeah, Mark Seliger, who is I think he is like a journalist, like a photojournalist. But he took pictures of transgender people, just portraitures of them. And this is an art exhibit. And I was like, man, this is good. This actually changed my mind about portraitures. I saw this and I'm like, oh, okay. So when you take a portrait of somebody, you can actually get like super real. Like you can take an image that's authentic to the person. as opposed to like, because I was thinking like, a part of they're posing, they're kind of like putting on this front. They're not. That's not who they really are, right? They are just giving you some like representation of themselves, but that's not really them. But this person, no, not at all. Like these portraitures, they're truly are the people that they are taking, that the picture is. There's nothing fake or false about these images. I gotta do it up close. Yeah. I mean, there's only so much I can do. Because I'm lo-fi, remember. I mean, these are great images. And what you have here is an extremely skilled photographer who does like a lot of photojournal. So they know all the techniques. They know the rule of thirds and vanishing points and the lines of convergence. Like they know all that. They know like contrasting and like doing that triangle, making these triangles. And I think this is my favorite image, I believe, because this is like pro level photography, right? Because you have it's like, for some reason, interestingly, for some reason, human beings love triangles. We love triangles. I guess that's why pyramids are so good. That's why, like, in Christianity, the God is like this three-person. There's the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. We're just drawn to triangles, and so when we see images that are like kind of triangular like this, it's very interesting to us. And so 3 points of interest, and so there's that, and then there's the background relative to the foreground. It just makes the subject pop, but they have this excellent foreground, and then you got this. So you have this is the main. There is actually a foreground, and it's the scarf that's like going forward, but so it's blurred. It's out of focus because it's like too far forward. So you have like these 3 layers of depth, which is quite fascinating. And then you have the subject itself, which is the subject. She's gorgeous. This is just like very fascinating subject in and of itself. Right. And then the sky. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, this is one of those images. Like, sorry, but we have this glare that's like very annoying. But this is another image that I could make an entire live stream on. Just as I could talk about. I can spend an entire hour talking about this image. Don't want to get well, I don't monetize my video, so it doesn't matter. It don't matter. See, that's one of the cool things about not monetizing. You don't have to worry about that shit. Another great image. Again, like kind of they got that. You can tell. Oh, sorry, I think I bumped my mic. You can tell technique. The photographer was like, pose in this way, and that way your real, we can get your real personality, your character will come out. But yeah, this is like one of my favorite photography books. It really it really gave me a better understanding of portraiture as an art form, and I appreciate that for it. We're going overtime, so we need to move it forward. And then you got this book, which is, I like this book. This book is about Ernest C. Withers, who is another controversial figure. He took a lot of images of civil rights during the civil rights era, of the civil rights movement, but he was also a plant. Like, he was an inside man. He worked for the was it the FBI or the CIA or both? I don't know. And he would like give law enforcement images of of the work, photographs of like the inner workings of the civil rights movement. And so there's a controversy there. Some people who worked with them was like, "Oh no, that's cool. We didn't care." And then some other people were like, "Yeah, I never liked that guy. I don't like how he was just taking pictures." And so there's a controversy here with this guy. But these images, I mean, they're incredible, and they do give an excellent historical document of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. I'll just show you one image, and I think that's the image on the cover. I believe he's the guy that took the famous image of Martin Luther King's assassination, where everybody's pointing upward at the person, the assassin. I like this image. This image is let's see how I can get rid of that glare. That's good enough. And this is just this is street protested. Kind of like, and you could check it out. Is that we have fought together, let us break bread together. But what I like, so this is, I mean, it just shows you the bravery of these protests, because you can see like the white women are like, what is this person doing? Why are they doing that? They're ruining my, I was trying to have a good time with my kids. What is this person doing? They're at, the protester. I'm very bad at mirrors. The protester is agitating. She's agitating, right? I love when people do that, when they're like raising social issues and they're irritating people, and because they should be irritated, right? Or they should be like agitated, because that ain't right, man. And if that ruins your day, that's the front cover image. It's the front cover, right? And then I just love the look of that white lady. That white lady is like, damn, really? And even this on the back: no white people allowed in the zoo today. Memphis Park Commission. I live in this city, and they would do the segregation where it's like, okay, we're gonna have a day where only black people, because white people don't want to be around black people. It was that kind of crap, and he took a lot of that. So I don't know, he's controversial, but there's some very good images, and you can learn a lot of history. And then I already talked about this book in another stream, but I'm also a huge fan of Sally Mann, photographer, and this is her book. I wonder if this is her most famous one. Probably Immediate Family, where she takes pictures of her kids and her family. I think she takes pictures of her husband too. I mean, the controversy is that there's a lot of nude images of her kids. Her kids don't have a problem with. They're all grown now, but there's something to be said about. Well, I mean, they were children, so they couldn't give consent. But they're all cool. And this is back. I think these pictures were taken in the 80s, and this was the South, and so like people did that. People would walk around naked and shit. Nobody cared. So she just took pictures of it. But there's this thing. I don't know. I guess I kind of like controversy like that. But the images are great. There's some really awesome images in this book. I think I'll just show you the one, because we gotta start wrapping up. I mean, here's one right here. This is okay. This won't take away monetization. That's one of her kids. And it looks like, what is that on her back? Has she been flayed or something? She been beaten? No, it's just hay. It's just hay. That's all it is. It's hay. She's just rolling in the hay, but it looks like scars, right? It's so Sally Mann did that a lot. She would like do these images that were like, okay, that looks very disturbing, but it's actually like not that bad at all. And a lot of this book is filled with that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's kind of filled with a lot of disturbing images, but they're like just innocent. They're not really doing anything. Like here's another one where the kid is holding a cigarette, but it's a toy cigarette. And there's a kid holding another kid, like, what is this, like, promoting teenage pregnancy? You know, people would take it that far. It's like, no, they're just playing. A lot of these images I cannot show because, you'll violate terms of YouTube terms of service. Let's see here. So this is fine. Like, I got a block. Can I? Oh no, I couldn't. Well, I think it's far enough. That's the distance is far enough. Where the image on the right isn't gonna, because you can't tell. But it looks like, oh no, she's getting hanged. It's like, no, she's just like has her eyes closed and she's in front of a rope, right? But she's fine. The book is full of that kind of stuff. I think this is. I said I was gonna just show one, but sorry. Oops. I believe this is her most famous image. Well, the one with the cigarette. Again, this is a toy cigarette. She's not actually smoking. Some people are like, why would you promote children smoking? Like, she's not smoking. It's a toy. Even still, it's too serious. Like, see, that's, it's funny. But this is another image. The image on the right, I can't hold. Okay. It uses these very advanced photographical techniques, like rule of thirds, field of depth, vanishing points. All these cool things that we could talk in length about, and also the subject matter. There's 3 subjects, and the tragedy of growing old. How as a kid you obsess about getting older, which is kind of a tragedy because you actually get older, and then you kind of want to go back to being young again. So it's kind of this tragedy. It just got that photograph kind of captured it. It's kind of interesting because it is a tragedy. Because like what I'm saying, like I'm chasing the nostalgia with the film. I still buy film for taking photographs. Why? Because I just want to feel like I'm back being young again. Because when I was a little kid, we took pictures with film, and that was what it was. And I guess that's why I like lo-fi, because lo-fi is how I grew up, with the VHS and the cassette tapes. That was like my medium growing up, which is very low fidelity medium. And why do I like that? Because it reminds me of when I was a little kid. It's a tragedy, right? Because I'm just chasing. But whatever. It makes me happy. It's cool. I understand the limitations, and I recognize that's just the thing that I'm doing. And it's all good. Well, I just like to thank you for joining me in this trip down photography, a discussion of photography. Did we talk a lot about philosophy? Not really. We kind of just talked about my love for photography, my maturing of what photography is in my mind. And yeah, thanks a lot. I'll see you later. Probably next week for another stream. It will likely be in the middle of the week. I'll come out with another video of another text that will be, I think it's called The Spiral of Violence. Yeah, I think it is. It's an essay. Or maybe it's a short text. I don't know. It's a short text for sure. But that would be cool. All right, but until then, peace out. See ya. Bye-bye.